I see half my head. I look retarded.
Yo. Welcome to the fifth episode of the Cabrini Kid Podcast. And we got a show for you today.
Yeah.
I got my co-host with me, Terry Riley. Terry, how you doing? How you living?
What's up, brother? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good.
Well,
Brother man from another man. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Man, we had a crazy day today online, and I had already had some topics uh, picked out, but I posted something and it just made me go to the reset.
yeah.
So we gonna do it a completely different way.
Okay.
I'm going with um, the post I had earlier today on Facebook and Instagram, and let me see here. Let me just read it
Oh
for the
man.
people who didn't get a taste. So I saw this post earlier this week on somebody else's post, and I thought it was super interesting. And the post basically reads, it says, ladies, you're single, 35 and up with multiple children or no kids, and desire a husband or man, you cannot be picky. It is too late. It's too late. You can't pick what you want. That time has passed for you. You need to settle and be thankful someone still wants you, hopefully not just for sex. Hashtag big homie. Um, it's a lot to unpack here, and this probably gonna take us the whole hour. Um, where do you want to start with this?
Oh, I had to go back and read your post. Obviously, like we talked earlier, and like
Right.
based off the heat that you got on that page on the post, but oof. Um, I don't know. You tell me where you want to start with this one. This is like I said earlier, this is going to be a touchy subject for women because obviously women are going to have a lot to say towards it, have had a lot to say towards it, and
Hmm.
will continue to have a lot to say towards it. But
Yeah, and we're gonna go through some of the comments and respond to them, on here as well. I think kind of where I want to start is I think a lot of people who read it got the wrong impression from the post. Um, and I think that they automatically assumed when they saw settle that it means be with someone beneath you. And that's not what I got from the post initially. I don't look at posts as necessarily saying that you got to be with somebody who doesn't have the things you want. I look at it as you got to compromise. The older you get, um, the less you can command from when you was, 20, early 30s. Um, Geneva said, now you're going to mansplain. I had to because I think, because when you post something, there's a lot of context that gets missed. And I have to explain it and break it down in a way where people can understand what I think the post meant. I think the post meant that when it says that you have to, when it says settle and stop being picky, it means learn to compromise on some of the things that you might have valued earlier in your life. That doesn't mean pick somebody who you feel like is beneath you. That means
yeah,
compromise on some of them things.
some people don't. You could. It's hard to, and that goes with man and woman. I would say it's hard to depict what somebody's trying to say off reading something. Like you have to like hear the words being said to you because you may read it and it's being said in a way that you may not be necessarily understanding and all of that compared to if I'm verbally telling you, you're like, oh, okay, now I get what you're trying to say or what this post was trying to say,
Hmm.
and I feel like we are, we get, as in humans, we get defensive right away when you see something that you don't like, especially, I mean, this goes for men and women, but, women go to a higher level, I feel like, of, trying to defend their honor, trying to um, defend themselves and all of that. And, it's nothing when you posted it, it wasn't no intention from you for it to be like you saying this out of your own mouth. Like you picked this off for all something else you found it at, and you're getting attacked for it, and like it's like, wait a minute, why is my boy getting attacked? And he's not even, he just bringing a subject to y'all to see if this is something that we could talk about, one on the podcast, and two just on a Facebook post to see where it goes and all that. And you took some heat from it. um
Let's see,
I was
Geneva
just
said, like I said earlier, people need to find a partner with the same values and desires. If you compromise, the relationship is gonna fail, period. Um, I'm a
I'm gonna say
disagree with
no.
that.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
a
disagree
disagree with
too.
that. And the reason I disagree with that is because I think the older you get, and I think that this is one of the core points of the post was that the older you get, the things that you valued when you were younger, um, you don't value anymore, or the things that were a standard for you, for the person that you were in a relationship with, you no longer can command that from a person that you're in a relationship with, right? And that goes for men and women. I think obviously the post was written by a man toward women, but in actuality, it can go for men or women. Like Terry, I'm sure you can admit, like we both have been, when we was 20, we were in better shape. We not in bad shape now, but we were in better shape, still tall, athletic, and you can approach certain situations in a certain way. Now things have changed. Now we
Yeah,
got the dad bod, right?
dad bod, boy.
You got the dad bod now, so you just can walk in a place and pull your shirt up and take your shirt off it and do all these things like you used to
I
do.
mean, I
Now
still
you
do,
have
but I gained a new confidence.
now you have to look at it from a different perspective, um, of what you bring in, and I think that with men we are definitely, it's easier for men to accept, and I hate to say it this way, but I think it's probably the best way to say it. It's easier for men to accept the downfall, right? It's easier for men to look at it and say, "Man, when I was 20, I was killing them. I
Yeah,
ain't like that no more," right? And I feel like you don't hear that from women. Women still are in that mindset of I'm still killing no matter what has happened in their life.
I can agree with that. I can agree to a certain extent. I was just bouncing off real quick what Geneva was saying. One, I don't like the word settled.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's a
settled
bad word.
settled is like you just said, fuck it. I can't get nothing, so I'm just gonna settle for this shit here that it's in front of me. Like that's not what, like it may not have been the best word to say. I don't, because I ain't never settled for nobody, but like I may have compromised a little bit to,
Compromise.
yeah, to accept what was in front of me. But settled is crazy. Crazy, settled is wild. Like I don't like that word, and I don't feel like you have. This is where I can agree and disagree with Geneva even still more. I don't feel like you have to find somebody with those same exact values and desires. Like I don't feel like no one really ever has the same exact values and desires. Like you may have somebody with a lot of those same, but to
Hmm.
find somebody be like, oh, hey, like this guy checks all my boxes on same values, same desires, same, like a lot of people false advertise with that stuff. Like they might tell you that because that's what you want to hear and all of that, but I don't feel like a lot of people carry them same values and all that. Like I said, some of it, yes, but not all of it.
Yeah, and Bria said right. So you find people of the same values you carry now. Values and standards change. Um,
So values and standards change. So how can, so if they're changing for who? Are they changing for the man or changing for the woman? Like, so if the woman decides those values and standards change, what if the man is not wanting to change with those values and standards? So now is he wrong because he's not adapting to what you're wanting to adapt to? Like that's not what he signed up for, these particular standards and values that you were talking about. But then now you're like, okay, let's change those standards and values, or let's your version of grow
mhm.
with those. Sorry, I stopped because I was reading what she was saying there. Um, as you age, they change. To your guys' point of our values are different in 20s and older in life. 20. I still I can disagree with that too. Like, there's the values and stuff. Like, just because it's 20 from 20s to where we are now, which, me, I'm 36. I have modified my ways of thinking, my ways of knowing what, I want compared to in my 20s. I said, like, oh, I want to be married, I want to have kids, I want it to be with one woman, I want all that stuff. But, now that that was in my 20s, I had planned on being married by like 26. I'm 36, ain't never been married yet. So, like, so it's like, now I'm like 36 over here, like, well, I'm gonna be married and at 2025. Will that happen? Who knows? We'll see. But but if it doesn't happen, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to agree with what the girls are saying right now. Felix, man, I'm just trying to be like you, my boy. That's all, man. Hey, I'm glad you was on, man. I was about to say, I know we ain't going the whole episode without my guy Felix.
No, and I know Felix has probably compromised once or twice in his life too, so I don't think that he not safe from it either. But
Felix,
I'm gonna
I
go to some
always,
of the. Go
my
ahead.
bad. Felix, I always wanted to be married. I've always wanted to since I was a young kid. Like, I always wanted kids when I was like 7, 8. I was like, I can't wait to have kids. Like, just like marriage, I was always like, oh, I can't wait. Not that I grew up seeing it around me. Like, like at that particular time, I didn't see it. I just always have valued family and all that. And I've always something that I wanted. So, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm telling you, 7, 8 years old, I was like, man, I can't wait to have kids. Like, that was crazy. Who's thinking about that at 7 or 8? Like, but I was like, I was excited, but I was 30 before I had a child, but I still was excited about the possibility of one day that happening for me.
So Geneva said, if you have a woman who values the gym and exercise, don't want you eating hot dogs or bad food, but yet the man loves eating junk food and doesn't like exercising. I mean, I feel like that's easy, right? Like, y'all lifestyle don't match. Like, your lifestyle has to match. Like, I think that kind of goes without saying. But at the same time, you can't have somebody who that's not necessary. I don't look at that as something that's really going to like further your relationship. If you're dating somebody and you already know that they don't like the gym, you pick that person.
You
Like,
set
you
yourself
pick
up
them.
for failure, and
You
that's what
already
you wanted.
knew that they didn't like going to the gym and you decided to date them anyway. That's on you.
Yeah,
So you can't 6 months in be like, he don't like working out. This not gonna work. You knew that from day one that he didn't like working out, but you try to make it work anyway. So that's not really something that's gonna push the relationship. We
yeah,
talking about, like, do you value somebody's income over what other things they might bring to the relationship? Do you value somebody's spiritual beliefs? Do you value somebody's political leanings? Those type of things. I think that those are things that will definitely like push a relationship forward or backwards. Um, so we're gonna read a couple of comments from the post. Chevy, who was a guest on the show, big shout out to Chevy, said, realistically, yes, you don't have to settle, but your options do diminish as you get older, whether you want to believe it or not. And if you have kids on top of that, the options are even lower, but you don't have to settle. Just stay single.
hmm,
And I think that's one of the big things that the post is trying to say is that the older you get, the less options you have. And I don't think there's really any other way to there's really no any other way to slice that, right? You know what I'm saying? You might have had hundreds of options when you were 2025, but now you got kids. Now you work all the time. You don't go out like you used to. You may not be in as good a shape as you used to be. So now you have to value things differently because you are different, and your options are going to diminish. Now, some people look at that as, I'm being picky because I'm being more selective of who I give my time to. But at the same time, the flip side of that is that you're not going to get the same attention from people that you would have when you were younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get the same attention from the same dudes or girls that you would have 20 years ago because you're different and they're different.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that. Like, there's girls that like I've tried talking to, being a father, and like they're like, "Oh, I can't date you because you have a kid." Like, this is, I don't date men with kids because I want to be my man's first to give a kid and all that. Like, you handsome, I love your energy, blah blah blah. I love all of this. But after I didn't heard I don't date guys with kids, like at the point, like you don't need to tell me I'm handsome person. Like, don't go into all that stuff anymore. Like, you didn't already told me that killed me already. Like, not physically, but like already didn't booted me in my head. Like, all right, why are we still talking about this? But like, yeah, like you get people that would want particular things and all that. That's pretty much all I'm saying with that. But
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah.
We had another young lady, Rachel, said, let's be honest, it depends on what you look like at 35 and up. A lot of women start to lose themselves, others don't. So you got to be aware and be honest with yourself.
Yeah. A lot of women still think they the shit, and I say that respectfully. Like, when I'm I'm trying to be chill about it, but
Just trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah, a lot of them feel like they the shit, and they really ain't the shit. Like, your time has passed already, but and like I this is just me just saying it and all of that. Like, I've never thought I was a shit. I've always thought I was a decent looking guy, but I never thought I was a shit. I feel like I look better than I did in my 20s, being older with the grays popping and all of that. Like, I feel like I look better, but a lot of people need to truly look at themselves and be honest with themselves on what they look like and what they can get. Like, and I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They feel they hold themselves to a certain standard. They just not that person no more. Or them standards, you gotta, modify them. Like I told you earlier, modify. Like, it's okay to hide those high standards and all that, but sometimes you got to modify. Like, you got to modify as time goes on. Like, because like them high standards ain't gonna get you what you wanted, for the most part. Like, you're not gonna get everybody that's gonna check all those boxes that you're talking about. Fucking Felix. Yeah, you're not gonna, like, you gotta do the modifications, man. Like, a lot of women out here are still trying to live off thinking that they're the prize. Like, that those prize days is not it. Like, we all the prize. Like, I know a lot of women out here saying like, oh, you want to be the woman of the group because you think you're the prize. Like, why the fuck can I not be the prize? Is there a fucking book?
Why can't I be?
Is there a fucking book that told me I can't be the prize? Like, is there a book that said that a woman is the prize? Like, is there something that's telling us that? Like, that's what it is? Like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like, hey,
Felix said he's seen all the girls from high school that used to be hot and he was feeling, now they on them.
Bro, the ones in high school, you know how it is. Like, the ones in high school, some have aged and become more beautiful. Some have aged and, ran through. Like, and, like, like, it just, again, I'm saying it a little bit differently than I have been on here, but like, I just rather be just straight up and honest. Like Felix said, I'm the fucking prize. That's how I feel. Like, I'm the prize. Some women's gonna hate to hear me say that, but I don't give a fuck really at the end of the day. Like, I'm the prize for me. Like, at the end of the day, I choose me over anybody else anyway. So, like, if you don't have the mindset that you are the prize and all of that, then I mean, what you thinking?
Right. Alicia said, okay, so what should I settle for? A man who cheats, a man who has no job, a man who has several children, a man in prison. Where do we draw the line?
That's being,
and that goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like, it's not we're not. It's not. The post is not saying settle for somebody who you don't want. Right? It's not saying settle for somebody who's bad for you. It's not saying settle for somebody who you might feel is beneath you. It's just saying that, hey, when I was in my heyday, I was going for a dude that was 6'8", basketball player, whatever. But now I can't get that anymore. I can continue to aspire to that, but I'm not going to get that anymore. So if I meet a dude who's 5'7", why am I telling him he's not a good option? That's what it's saying. The compromise. 5'7". is that's the thing is if he don't, like you said, if he's not checking off all the boxes, that don't mean he's not a good option. And if you're going to continue to hold everybody to like, I'm not dating nobody unless he hit this, and this. There's no such thing as 100%. You can get close. You can get 90. You can get 95% of the things you want.
Yeah, and that's where the modifications come in. That I ain't listen. I mean, for me at least, I haven't had nobody that's been 100% what I wanted. But I found enough.
Bria said, I used to think I'd be an NBA wife. I'm looking in different leagues now.
Bria, you out here looking in the Lifetime League now.
Right. She's in the rec league, showing up at the rec game.
Hey, she's showing up to City of Phoenix leagues now, looking for the niggas. hey, Bria, we out here. You gotta look a little different now. I mean,
find out what nights the games is.
Yeah, niggas play. Hey, the league games is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 to 9. One of the leagues. So you go. I can give you a couple places. Not EOS Fitness is crazy. They ain't got no pickup
leagues. Not on the half court. Not on
the half court. Not even half court, man. Hey. Or let Geneva say in the 40s, dang, the Thursday night is crazy. But
Geneva thinks you're funny because we play in a 40 and over league.
Yeah, I knew that's where she was going at with you. But no, again, you got to be more realistic and make those modifications in today's world on what your standards and like the type of men that you're looking for. Because I was talking to Pearl earlier today, and she was saying like, and I said this to you too. I was, she was saying like, oh, fuck boys know not to come into her inbox and all that. Yeah, like no, them niggas are still coming into the inbox. They just have,
they changed they play,
changed the game, picked up new tactics, picked up new they still in them boxes trying to get in. Now, have they got in there? Probably not. They realize that they wasting their time, they're not going to get far. But for the one or two that has gotten through, you'll figure them out as time goes on. But you got to make them modifications. Like you really not finding 100% check boxes no more. Or right. I mean, I don't think for me, period. That's my opinion on it. I don't think nobody's finding somebody that's checking every fucking box unless you only got like 4 things in your box.
But that goes back to what we're saying. As you get older, the things in your box have completely changed.
Yeah.
They've completely changed. You know what I'm saying? Like when I met my girlfriend, I was like, oh man, she hit this, and this. Because I'm not 20 anymore. Right? I'm a father now. Gainfully employed, entrepreneur, doing all types of different things. So my mindset on life is different than it was when I was younger. Right? I wouldn't entertain certain conversations because
there you go, Geneva. That's what I was going with. I was coming with that next. Was there I was about to ask, is there any box that she didn't hit? I mean,
she didn't live where I lived at the time, but we fixed that. So
okay, so she's like, hold on, like throwing her hair back. Yeah. Hey, Geneva, I was right there with you. I'm like, I wonder if there's a box that she didn't hit. Being like, I mean, to be honest, I mean, that'd be a conversation for y'all to have it on y'all own time. I'm pretty sure there might have been a box or two she might not have hit.
Like I said, she just didn't live where I lived.
Yeah. So we could talk
Outside
about
of
it
that,
later,
that was
David.
it.
Me and you could talk about it later.
So
No.
we had another, let me see, we had another comment that said, Cassandra said, lots of options. Divorced men who got married young and didn't grow up yet. Them and their partners grew apart. Older men who never married yet, who finally matured, and now even younger men are loving older women. And younger men are turning out to be more mature lately. Two, it's insane. I refused to date younger, but I became open to it. And damn, they are bringing a lot more to the table in every aspect.
Mm. I mean, I was young and I loved them too. I loved older women when I was younger. So, and younger men have always liked older women. I liked them when I was 18. I mean, I was 18. Felix about to run with this one, but I was 18 and bro, I had talked to a 42-year-old. I knew then I was like, man, I like these older women. They sexy. Like, and she ran me through the water. But I don't know, man. I feel like you just gotta not be selective. You just gotta know who you're up against. People have adapted to ways of communication and ways of they are fire, Felix. Them motherfuckers is fire. Because you got to think about it. What you're saying right now, Felix. An older woman already knows what they want and what they will allow into their life and all of that. And you can say we can argue and say a 35-year-old woman should know that stuff too. Some 35-year-old women don't, you know. But a lot of older women. I'm not saying all older women know what they want because that's not true. Um, but a lot of older women already know, hey, like Terry, if you're gonna come in here, you need to have this, or this, or you ain't getting no kind of entrance into this box. And I'm not talking about the box, that enter, into their lives. I'm talking about that other box. So, like if you're not hitting these, then how can you're not gonna get where you want to get to. What Felix was saying though.
Right.
I like older women, other motherfuckers fire.
Speaking of older women, one older woman commented on the post. She said,
Like,
wrong. I'm 50, single, 3 kids, and hundreds of guys are after me.
she needs to stop the cap. First off, I saw it. I need to pull that up. I don't remember what she looked like, but she needs to stop the cap because if you got hundreds of niggas, excuse my language, on the N word, if you got hundreds of dudes trying to come at you, I'm gonna tell you right now, 90 of them is is in there for one thing, and that's to get to that box. It's like they like, come on now, like you ain't got no hundreds of dudes. Like this is when you false advertise and all that on who you are. And I mean that respectfully to her. I don't know her, and it is what it is. But 90 of them dudes is in there trying to get to the box. They don't, you got kids, you this, you're an older woman. I don't know, again, what she looks like and all that. Like, so I'm not judging, but most of them is in there to that box. They not in there trying to, oh, I want to get to know you, being what? No, stop it. That's the cap. They trying to get to the draws. They just got to figure out how to get in.
Right. They're trying to figure out the MO to
Yeah.
get in there. Bria says, send them my way, 30, no kids. But Bria, they like 50 with 3 kids. You got 20 years and 3 babies to pop out for you
Yeah.
qualify.
Bria said 30 with no kids. Noted.
Bria
Noted.
said she said
I
100. No, she didn't say 100. She said hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds is
Hundreds.
wild. That must mean she popping it. What is she, man? Let me get on my phone. What she look like? Because when you talking hundreds, you got to be bad. You gotta be bad. I'm getting on your post right now, bro. Like she better be cold talking about hundreds. Because I can say like I got I've had a good percentage, trying to jump on the Terry train and all that, but like. And I'm not like, come on, man, like just crazy. Let me go look at this one. What's I can't ask you her name. I'll find it, but that's wild though.
So while you looking, AJ said lots of denial and singleness in these comments, which kind of proves the point if you think about it. The funny thing is women demand traits of perfection but are not willing to have the self-awareness to understand where they are and their own shortcomings, but they want to be picky and have a man that has it all.
Say it again.
He said, lots of denial and singleness in the comments kind of proves the point if you think about it. The funny thing is, women demand traits of perfection, but are not willing to have the self-awareness to understand where they are and their own shortcomings, but
Mm,
want to be picky and have a man that has it all.
mm,
He said,
mm. That's tough. That's what. That's again. A lot of women don't know. You know, they think they are what they. I'm they think.
They
Yeah.
still think they are where they used to be.
Yes. Pretty much to simplify it. Let's. Oh,
Geneva
dang,
said,
Geneva, you have to
here's
throw
her
her
name.
name. Okay, Geneva. She says she cute. Let me see her, man.
But
Uh,
but have you ever heard a girl say another girl was ugly? No.
yeah, she probably saying that because she on a live and you her that's your woman, so she ain't trying to shit on her. I'm not saying she deserves to get shit on, but yeah, Geneva out here dropping names is wild. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like you were saying, a lot of women just still feel like they are the shit and all of that when they really aren't that no more. It's just, I mean, that's just simple. Why the hell I can't, bro? You got so many comments, I can't even find Shorty.
She under Pearl's post.
Oh, Pearls. Okay, let me find it. This Pearl might have deleted her after.
Nah, she's still on there.
Oh, okay. They were trying to get Pearl. It's crazy. Okay, let me see you. I mean,
He said, "Can I get in at 65?"
I mean, you know, how old did she say she was?
50.
I mean, listen, I can see why. I hate. Well, I'm over here sweating right now. So listen, I can
He said,
see
"Is it
why.
hot? Y'all ain't hot."
Yeah, like whew, I can see why she got hundreds in her Mets. Felix, man, Felix, go look, bro. Uh, I can see why though she got hundreds in her. Come on, man. Yeah, man. She might got hundreds. I might not even lie, but
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 that's why
those
that's
hundreds
why we
weren't
draw
in
the
there for the right reason though. That's going back to that. She's
no, we drawn a distinction between if you got hundreds of options, you got hundreds of dudes that's trying to date you, or you got hundreds of dudes that's trying to smash.
no,
They're
them
two
niggas is
completely
trying to
different things.
hit. They ain't trying to date this woman. Come on now. Like, I'm telling you, right? So, for me, no disrespect to her. She's 50. Like, that's just way out of any age range that I want a woman that I'm trying to date. One. So, if I'm looking at her, I can tell you right now, only thing that I would want. And I'm saying that respectfully because, I'm here right now. There's there's only one reason that I would want this woman. Not saying she gonna want me because I can be ugly. I'm ugly to some people, which is okay.
We all ugly to somebody.
Yeah, I love me some me, so that's all that matters at the end of the day. But I can look at her and I can tell you why she's saying she got hundreds of dudes. Bria, I hear what you're saying. The point of view changing. My point of view isn't changing because I still, at the end of the day, any woman that's saying they got hundreds of dudes chasing after them, there's hundreds of dudes chasing after you for a particular reason. And I can tell you right now, hundreds is not chasing after her to be with her. Hundreds is chasing after her because they trying to get to that box. They want them hands on them goddamn cannons that she got. Like that's what they chasing after. They're not. Come on, man. And again, like I said, I say that respectfully to this woman and all that, but hundreds of dudes is not chasing her to be with her. Dang, Felix, bro, we're gonna have to send you her whole name. You gotta look under never mind, I can't be saying names out loud, but
Ray commented on the post. He said, "It's harsh, but it's the reality. Why would a man want someone that other men clearly didn't? So if a man comes along and is willing but doesn't check all the boxes, it's probably a good idea to consider that man." Which goes back to what I was saying earlier. I need a dude that's 6'8", 7 feet, blah 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 blah. I got a six pack, whatever, and you meet a dude who's 5'8" and don't have any of that. Why is he not a good option?
he might unlock some other boxes that she didn't know that she had. Like I, I mean, but 5'8", you ain't getting no love. It's a 6 foot. A lot of these girls got that 6 foot to ride. They ride.
Christina said, I found that my options have gotten better in my old decrepit years. I'm no longer looking for a husband or someone to bear children with. I'm looking for someone to grow wealth with because I have my own. I am merely looking for someone to share time and make memories with. They're a dime a dozen.
Christina is, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. We got stuck for a minute. I mean, like she said, she's not looking for a husband or someone to bear children with. I'm not looking for someone to grow with. I don't know, someone to share time and make memories with. For what she's looking for, there's a lot of that out there. I mean, shit, it's a lot of dudes that have signed up for that membership because it ain't, she's not.
There's no commitment.
There's no true commitment to what she is wanting. She just wants to enjoy life and have somebody to be around to enjoy it with you. But the thing that comes with that is like it starts that way, and then people catch feelings and all that, and then either most of the time women end up getting themselves hurt because this is what she signed up for. She didn't expect to like this man, fall for this man, but that's what nine times out of 10, that's what ends up happening is a woman ends up falling for the man. I'm not saying that men don't fall for a woman, but majority of the time it's the women that's falling for a man.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel. Everybody, send it to your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, and subscribe.
Damn. Yeah. I didn't even read your comments all the way. It was so many, but I might go back in there.
Let me see what else we got here.
I do. I was reading one that one of the ladies said, I call BS. Men and women both can find love at any age. Again, I can agree with that. My boss met her husband, while out grabbing coffee, and they went on a date 2 days later, and they got married, and they got 5 days later. And they've been married for 27 years. You can't find a man, and they were young at that time. They were both in their 20s, so you can't find love at any age. So I can agree with that. But a lot still coming with that is that was a risk that they both took. Especially you only known each other less than 10 days and all that. You don't even know they likes or dislikes, habits. Right. Nothing. You didn't when they got a whole married is wild. That's like the TV show. What's that? Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight. We got 90 days. We got 90 days to figure it out.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, it wasn't even 1940. Felix, bro, they got married back in. It was like 98 or something like that. I can't remember 95 or whatever. But times have changed. People's minds have changed. Social media. With that presence, it truly does affect a lot of that stuff now. But they still holding their own in their relationship. So kudos to them, love to them.
I saw another post I thought was interesting that I responded to. She said, young lady named Daryl said, wow, because a man with kids and single in his 30s is a real catch. This guy is hurt about someone he thought would adore him just because he was around them. And so I responded and said, he may have been, but the question is, if you were 30 plus, single, and had kids, wouldn't you think you were a catch also? Why can't he?
It's a lot of that out there.
Right. Why can't he be a catch too?
There's a lot of women out here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 baby daddies and all this stuff, and they still thinking they the catch. Somebody... That glove is dropping the ball. Some got to be going wrong. And if you ask the woman, she's gonna say it's all these men. But when do I only can speak from a man's perspective and all that? When do women start holding themselves accountable? Why is it always got to be this man isn't, what I needed in a man. He didn't check my boxes, or his standards and all that stuff wasn't what I would want it to be. Then why did you waste your time in that man? Is it that he did he run a game on you, telling you what you wanted to hear, or
Mm-hmm.
just or did you get caught into the looks and the personality? Like, I just don't understand what gets women to stay to get themselves trapped in situations knowing that you have these standards. Maybe Geneva can help me understand this a little bit, or
Yeah,
Bria.
me and Geneva just had this conversation. So
I don't, I don't know. Like, I don't know how women get themselves caught into these situations when you have these particular standards that you so hardly, strongly believe in, but you let some bum, do get and knock you out. Just say, hold on, well, let's move these damn boxes out of here. Get out of here with your standards and all that. Those standards don't mean anything. Like, how did they get in there? Like, I can go, speaking on a previous situation of mine, like an ex of mine didn't, she preferred a healthier living lifestyle. You know, I eat decently better than what I did during those times, but I wasn't going to fully change on the way I eat. I love food. Like, I'm going to eat what I want to eat and all of that. So she knew that going into that wasn't going to change, even though she had these standards and values. She knew those things wasn't going to change. Maybe she thought she was going to be able to come in like, you know what, I can change this man. I can make him
Mhm.
do things that he might not be comfortable with. But no, it never happened. But why? Like, what if you knew that he wasn't going to do that? I wasn't going to do that. Then why did you allow yourself to get put in the situation of feeling like you went against your standards and your values? It's my question to women. Like, if you already know that man ain't that, then how did he get access to you to be able to do the things that he did? That's
I
what I
think a
would.
lot, and I think a lot of times the reason for that is not something they want to admit, because then it would affect the way, or they believe that it would affect the way that somebody thinks about them, right? Or the way that they're perceived. Like if a woman says, "Well, I just stayed in a relationship because the sex was good. I stayed in a relationship because he had a lot of money. I
Mm-hmm.
stayed in a relationship because he had a nice house. I stayed in a relationship because of whatever," right? Those don't align with the narrative, right? Of I got my standards. Here's my list of 5 or 10 things, and a guy has to check off all these things for me to date him, right? That goes against that list of things at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Um, Let me see who else do we have today that hopped in. A lot of people hopped in. Um, let's see. Katrina said misogyny is what it's called. The definition: misogyny, hatred, or prejudice against women, typically exhibited by men. It is generally accepted that misogyny is a consequence of patriarchy, male dominated society, and the term may be applied to certain individuals as well as larger systems, societies, or cultures. I asked her, I said, how does that apply to this? And she said, how does it not apply? I said, how is the person who wrote the post displaying hatred toward anyone or prejudice? And she said, I guess you'll have to think about it if you don't recognize it.
Yeah,
And I feel
I don't even want to address her long. Yeah, I'm good on that. That's on you on this one. But like, she went deeper than what, like you reading too much into it. Like, I don't know. That's just retarded. Excuse me.
and I feel like it's an easy default.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an easy default. Oh, that guy is a misogynist. He's a misogynist because he has standards. He's a misogynist because he's calling out certain behaviors. That don't make him a misogynist.
Yeah.
You may not like what he has to say.
Yeah.
Geneva said, because sometimes we addicted to fixing people, care for other people, to be and do better than they care. And sometimes we get manipulated into staying because they give us the story of people abandoning them. And then
Nah, I
she
feel
also
like,
said, meanwhile, putting our needs in the back.
yeah, I mean, that's more so than it's not that they manipulated you. You allow yourself to be manipulated by people. And this goes for men and women. I'm not saying to her specifically or anything, but you allow yourself to be manipulated into things. And I can say I have too. Like,
I think we all have.
yeah, like, you allow somebody to come in and try to change you in a way that you didn't necessarily want to change and all that. And it it's a tough one. Like, you fight it, you battle it and all that, but at the end of the day, if you strongly feel about your standards and values, then you had the control to put a stop to that and not allow that to go where it is. But something about that particular person just it altered you. It came in there again, modified. It made you want to modify those things. People
Bria
do know.
said, but
You
some
do know
people
when
don't know they're
you're
being
manipulated.
manipulated when it's happened. I don't know if I believe that. I don't
I,
know if I believe that.
I can definitely say for me, I knew when I was being manipulated, but I think it was just, just allow for it to happen, and I don't understand why and all that. When I can see the signs, I can see it right in front of my face. Like, T, why are you allowing this? Like, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, but you allow.
You was in the sauce.
Yeah, lost in the sauce. Hey, when they say power to P. Yeah, we do need Geneva and Brio here because they be talking, but we need to hear
He said they need to be live. Y'all faces are made for the TV.
them. Yeah.
She said, I need you, Geneva, I need you to manipulate the shit out of David to prove a point. Just kidding.
She didn't got you already, but I mean, she didn't got you for
She has some passive ways
yeah.
that you acquiesce to when you she said y'all ain't ready.
We ready next week. Come on.
But yeah, I think like I said, I think the post I think the post really was taken out of context by a lot of people. And I think that there's an old saying, right, that said, Terry, your grandma, your mom probably said it to you many times. I know my grandma, and my father said it to me. Only a hit dog will holler.
I've heard it, but I still don't understand it. But
It's if somebody say if it says basically if you break it down, if you throw a rock in a pack of dogs and the one that get hit is the one that's gonna yelp.
yeah.
So if you say something and it applies to somebody and they act hurt because of it, then it applies to that person. Basically, that's how it's breaking down. Kind of if the shoe fits, wear it type of thing.
Yeah, the shoe fit. Okay.
If the shoe fits, wear it type of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Bria, you should definitely have heard that before being from the Midwest. So that's a Midwest and down south thing. But I think that a lot of people got offended by it because they may be in that position. Like AJ said, where he's like a lot of women are on, or LG on the post. LG said a lot of women on this post are single.
Mm-hmm.
And
they all
they
are
may
single.
be at a point where they feel like it applies, and that cuts them in a different way.
Yeah, a lot of them definitely are single, 100%. You can tell just the way how they talk, like that. It's a lot of hurt women that have been through a lot, which is I can respect. Ain't nothing against
right.
it. But, we all have been through things and all that. But again, they just misunderstanding what the content of the post and all that and all that. Like me and Pearl was talking, and she was saying like, she doesn't feel that 35 is a fair age for you to not you to say, but
right.
For it to have been said and all that. Like, she said she felt like it should be like 50, 60. And I'm like, 50, 60, like, come on now. Like, I would hope by 50, 60, like, motherfuckers is, you
You
either
either found
married,
your person by then.
yeah, you either with your life partner and all that, or you just out here just living your best life. And there's nothing wrong with either or and all that. But
Hmm.
I would say by about 40, 40 would have been a more acceptable age. Don't manipulate me into thinking
She
what
said, "Nah, I didn't misunderstand. Don't manipulate me into thinking what you think the post is about." But I'm the one. I'm the one saying what the post is about. um, Bria said, "I mean, I think there's a point because women in relationships don't feel the need to comment on something like that. Also, potentially algorithms be different for single women sometimes. Yeah, it probably put it in front of some women who it behind the scenes electronically applied to. The system knew it applied to them.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I said, when it applies and you stop listening, you're not looking at or you're not listening to um, the context. You're really just looking at it from a perspective like, I can't believe he just said that, and now your feelings hurt. Um, then that's where the understanding goes.
People said the AI knew.
AI knew who needed to see it.
Yeah, and they definitely saw it. Like you said, 250 and counting still. So it's like it's a lot of you can tell. You're not. No, I'm not. I'm not right now. No, I'm not. It was no, I wasn't. But
I might not even post nothing tomorrow just so I can let it breathe for another day.
boy, that post is it can grow. I mean, it can grow for sure. That because it's a sensitive subject. I mean, anything that you say, I know that. Anything you say towards about women, like it's going to be a lot of defensiveness and all
Mm-hmm.
that.
All right, Terry been out here peeling out just real
Boy, I got
casually.
hot. I was on there. Hey, Shorty with the cannons. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. I'm over here hot right now. Hey, y'all gotta chill on me. This is not about me right now. This is about the post. Y'all, come on. Bria, you just was telling me like you supposed to be on my side right here, like, like come on. But yeah, I don't know. That post definitely got to a lot of, it dug deep into some skins and all that. And sorry, not sorry. I mean, you were just really just posting it just to get something going and all that. Like, not saying that was what you were thinking, but hey, we definitely got to get Geneva and Bria on here. Like they, yeah, I'm gonna remember that. Okay, all right.
we got something in the works. We got something in the works.
Because they be talking the most, and we ain't had them on yet to speak their mind and tell they tell. Like we want to hear from them on some stories. Like we want to hear their side.
Right. So let's see how real they get. See how in depth they get.
Geneva might. I don't know if Bria will. Bria might be holding out on this. She might be holding out, just like she was holding out on some of her homies. we we never fully got the answer to that one still, but but yeah, man, that post definitely ruffled some feathers and all of that. And like you said, it was no intent by you to make it seem like that was how you felt about it. Like you said, there is some truth to it and there's some not truth about it. I guess it's
Right.
according to who the people are and where what how you truly feel about it at the end.
Yeah, and I think it's like you said, like part of it I agree with, a lot of it I don't. I think that you could find after 35, after 40, 45, um, I think you can find the person that you're supposed to be with. But I'm also realistic, and I know I'm not the person that I was when I was 20, 25 either. So, I think it's things that you have to take into consideration, and you got to be realistic about who you are, how you've changed and grown, and what that means for somebody that you're trying to date.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you gotta, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, you gotta truly look at things. Like I said, I used to say, man, I ain't dating no woman with 3 kids. Two is max. And next thing you know, I ended up dating someone with 4. I was like, damn, T.
He said,
So
I surpassed my own standard.
I don't know what it was. Like, I can't tell you. I modified the way I was thinking because I felt like, 4 is crazy, Felix. Yeah, but I never thought I would do that. But I modified the way I was thinking,
Because
and all that, and
because of the person that it was.
due to the person it was. I still to this day, like I said, even though I'm no longer with that person and all that, I grew as a man in a way, to have a better understanding with life, a better understanding with women, and a better understanding of how more of a man that I am working on being, putting in the work to be and all that. Due to that woman with 4 kids. Hey, if I never met her, who knows? I might still be a shitty ass dude out here. But due to running into the person that I ran into, everybody is in your life for a reason. Some people play a big part, some people play a little part and all that, but she played a big part of that life that helped me open up this other side of T, that I didn't even know it was in there. It's like she unlocked, Pandora's box, Terry's box, to, get myself going. Felix, listen, I'm a good guy. I mean, any guy, I don't need to say that I'm a good guy. I know I am, but I'm not shitting on nobody.
Geneva said that's growth, having different values. See, I was right. Case closed. She's just picking and choosing what she want to hear.
Yeah, that's all that is. I still, but again, I I modified my values and standards that we were talking about. No, my values and change. I modified them. How's my values changed? I modified my way of thinking. Like I knew I never wanted to date at the particular time. I never wanted to date with nobody with more than 2 kids and all that. Damn near not even one. But I made modifications due to the connection I grew with that person. Hey, Felix, bro, hit me on the line, bro. You hit me on IG. I'll send you a picture. Modify, yes, modify equals change and all that, but still modify. And I'm still open to modifying. Hey, like, listen, Britt, stop trying to be smart on here, but.
But I think what you said holds a lot of weight because you recognize that the person that you were in a relationship with changed you in a way that taught you some lessons, helped you grow, become a better person, reassess some of your values and things like that, but then also get to a point where you feel like you can start investing in somebody else. Like you learn from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely did. I whatever. I'll give the girls they flowers. They want that one. Whatever. I'll say modify, change. It's
Just
all.
got. They just want to hear. They just want to hear you right. Y'all was right.
Women always got to be right, so I'll let them be right on this one. So
y'all was right. Y'all was right. Modify equals change.
Modify equals change. Is this before or after you was? Before and after, Felix.
All right. Well, that's all the time we got for today. We definitely thank everybody for stopping by, having a conversation with us. You got to see Terry go from buttoned up to wife beater in about 45 minutes. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
No, Felix, bro, I had the bottle of tequila. I was gonna pull the bottle out, but I'm not at home, so I didn't have my bottle to pull out. But next week, Felix, I'm gonna have that tequila bottle out. I'm gonna take some shots while we're on live, and we're gonna talk that talk for sure.
That's gonna
But
be crazy.
listen, I'm not gonna allow Geneva and Bria to be right about everything after this episode. This was their one free pass, so we cool now.
She said, didn't even notice Terry was stripping.
Listen, never mind. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
All right, everybody. Once again, please like, subscribe, share the link for the podcast. We're trying to grow it. And stay tuned. We got some big announcements coming up in the next couple of weeks, where you guys are going to be very excited to see what we got coming. So stay with us, and we will talk to y'all in about 7 days.
All right. See y'all later. Be safe, everybody.